Welcome back to the throne of France today. We're diving into the dazzling world of the Sun King, Louis XIV, and the women who captured his heart. This is part one of my three-part series on the king's mistresses. We begin with the tragic yet fascinating story of Louise de La Vallière, a young woman who entered the court as a nobody, became the king's first great love, and ended her life as a nun. Stay with me. This is a tale of romance, rivalry, and redemption. Early life. Louise Françoise de la Beaume Leblanc was born on August 6, 1644, in Tours, after her father's death. Her mother remarried into a family close to the royal court. Louise grew up surrounded by nobility, but she was not the typical court beauty. She had a limp, and her intelligence was modest, but she was a graceful dancer and an excellent rider. These qualities and her gentle, sincere nature would soon draw the attention of the most powerful man in France. Arrival at court at 16, Louise became lady-in-waiting to Henrietta of England. Wife of the king's brother, Philippe d'Orléans, rumors quickly spread that Henrietta was far too close to Louis XIV. To silence scandal, courtiers encouraged the king to focus on someone else. That someone else was Louise. Special shoes with hidden heels were even made to disguise her limp. What began as a convenient distraction soon became real. Against all odds, the Sun King fell in love with her. The king's first love, unlike many at court, Louise did not crave power or wealth. She only wanted the king's love. Their secret relationship soon turned public, and Louise gave birth to several of his children. Tragically, most died young. Still, her love for the king never wavered. But the court was cruel. Rivals whispered, enemies plotted. And Queen Maria Theresa herself learned of the affair. Louise, humiliated and vulnerable, remained by the king's side even as her health and reputation suffered. Rivalry with Madame de Montespan. By the mid-1660s, a new star appeared at court. Madame de Montespan. Brilliant, ambitious, and breathtakingly beautiful. She quickly replaced Louise in the king's affections. Louise found herself trapped in a humiliating role, pretending to still be the king's mistress while serving as a decoy to cover up his new affair. Imagine the pain, still in love with Louis, forced to live under the same roof as her rival. The stress nearly killed her. In 1670, she fell gravely ill, and although she recovered, she knew her days at court were numbered. Turning to faith, Louise's suffering slowly led her toward faith. She prayed, repented, and longed for peace. In 1674, Louis XIV finally allowed her to leave court for good. Before departing, she humbly asked Queen Maria Theresa for forgiveness. Louise entered a Carmelite convent in Paris, trading the glitter of Versailles for the silence of the cloister. She would spend the next 36 years in prayer and penance, so different from the glittering young woman who once danced at the king's side. Later years in death, even Madame de Montespan, her old rival, eventually came to Louise for guidance and forgiveness. Louise de La Vallière died on June 6, 1710. At the age of 65, a courtier wrote of her, "She died with all the marks of great holiness." Her story is a reminder that even in the most dazzling courts of Europe, love could turn to heartbreak and glory to humility. That concludes part one of my series on the mistresses of Louis XIV. Louise de La Vallière, the king's first great love, was remembered not for her power, but for her sincerity and sacrifice. In part two, we'll meet her dazzling rival, Françoise Athena S. Marquise de Montespan, the most famous and scandalous mistress of the Sun King. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know which royal figure you'd like me to cover next. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.